Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. First of all, thank you for allowing me to switch from doing Coffee Corner yesterday to doing it today. Really, in the long term, it doesn't make any difference because we had more storms last night. Welcome to spring in Kansas, in the Midwest, I guess. Um, So Monday night was tornado watches and severe thunderstorm warnings and floodings, and last night was more of the same. And like literally, Sam and I were awake multiple different times last night. Um, it hailed, it wind, it blew, you name it. Good morning, Christine.
Ooh.
The craziness of Midwestern weather.
Oh, what is I don't even know the temperature today. I have a tank top on under this so that if I decide to go outside, I've got a tank top on.
Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Cool Gamer.
Morning.
So literally it poured overnight. We live at the top of a hill. So like literally the rain just goes down. We're very, very fortunate. However, it was raining so hard, so fast that it was curb to curb at the top of the hill. I mean, you couldn't see like down our street for a while. Like if I look straight out my front door, straight out my windows, I see up part of one of the streets because it jags. You couldn't see. And then when about 9:30, I got a message from one of my friends that lives in Marion, 10 minutes away. They had hail the size of golf balls, some the size of softballs. Here we've got a little bitty pea-sized hail, like 4 hours later. So yeah, weather, spring weather in the Midwest. So, so if you watched Magical Makeup last Thursday, I kind of talked about the fact that I've been having some eye problems for several years and all the issues that have been with that. So yesterday I had my eye doctor appointment. And fantastic news is my left eye, even though it's acting kind of wonky at the moment, it is seasonal allergies. There's nothing to be freaking out about. It's perfectly healthy with a change in my prescription. Um, I will have 20/20 vision in that eye. The even better news is that this eye can be fixed. Um, if you heard me talking about it, it's kind of cloudy. It's been having issues. And the first thing I have to do is I have to do eye drops for 3 weeks. And I will pick those up on Friday. And then eventually, semi's going by. Eventually, if the eye drops don't fully work, I may potentially have to have cataract surgery, like later on. So he's like, there's times where you can see better out of that eye without glasses than your left eye. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, and just, several things. And he spent longer time like looking deep into the eye. And he goes, it's still inflamed. It's still like swollen. He's like, I've never seen that before. You would have thought it would have cleared up kind of on its own. He's like, is that eye sore? I said, yeah, it stays kind of sore every once in a while. And so he's like, well, that's because it's inflamed. So it was good news all around. So I ordered my new glasses and we will get those in a couple of weeks. And I'll be able to see better. Because the reason that I haven't had a new prescription since 2016 is the eye doctor that used to be here in town wouldn't give me a new prescription because of that eye. He's like, there's no point in giving you a new prescription because you can't really see out of that eye. Even though this eye I could and it needed a different prescription, he wouldn't do it. So, yeah. The new eye doctor who bought the practice was like, yeah, there's no reason that should have happened. Christine went to the Branson Disney outlet, and said she got a whole bag of goodies for the price of a spirit jersey, including ears, puzzles, etc. Fantastic. I love finding a good deal. I love it better when it's a good deal on Disney merch. What are you drinking this morning, Christy?
Black coffee. Well, I mean, I put like stevia in it, but black coffee with stevia.
So yesterday morning I was on TikTok and I commented on, like, I commented on some mornings are rough. Agreed.
The front's cuter though.
Like I feel that today. Like I had every, like, because tomorrow's my weigh-in day. I'm 2.4 pounds away from my 50-pound goal.
You'll get there. It won't be long.
If it's not this week, it'll be next week. Because I'm slightly bloated this week. So,
me too.
So
mine probably had to do with eating Dollywood food.
Mine is not. But I had every intention of getting up this morning and going and doing like a workout here in the living room on my computer. And I will find it and I will link it in the chat. She started doing videos right at the beginning of the pandemic. It's Shonda's Hill, I think. Sharona's Hill, maybe is how you pronounce it, but she's from the UK. And she does dance walk videos on YouTube, and they are all different levels. There's beginner, intermediate, expert, Disney, ABBA, Queen, you name it, she's got a video for it. And they're really fun, and there's different time lengths. When I was doing, like, during the school year, some mornings I would, if I knew I wasn't going to get a whole lot of steps that day, I would do a quick workout in the morning from her. And she's great. I love her videos. So if you are looking for a home workout that's a lot of fun, check out her channel. So she even has like muscle recovery walks and kickboxing workouts. So there's a lot of things to choose from on her channel. So definitely give her a look if you are looking for that. Christina's having a Starbucks caramel with stevia and coconut milk. That sounds really good. Well, back to what I was saying before, the other. I commented on someone's video that I had just started watching. They were going to Pelican Cove, where Beach Blanket Bingo with Annette Funicello was filmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Annette Funicello. And she was like, me too. Like, when did you start watching? I'm like, oh, I watched it on Vault Disney. She's like, I miss Vault Disney so much. If you don't know what Vault Disney was, it's like at 11 o'clock at night on the Disney Channel. They would show all of the old black and white shows, black and white movies, the older 60s movies, and it was called Vault Disney. And so she commented, I had everything set up at my coffee bar back here to film a time lapse of brewing my coffee yesterday morning. So I had posted a video, one of my day in the life on Weight Watchers, where I was having iced coffee. And she's like, hey, could you share how you make your iced coffee? And I'm like, sure, going, I was going to do that already, but here we go. So I figured out how to film a video with the little comment in the corner, which was fun. So I'm like, hey, I'm feeling pretty good today. I am out of ice right now. So I grabbed a Celsius this morning because I've been having iced coffee the past few mornings. But I have out of ice until later. This one was Arctic Vibe. It's supposed to be a sparkling berry flavor. It's interesting. I will say that. This flavor is interesting. Kroger affiliate, which is our Dylan's here, has had Celsius individual cans, buy 5, get them or more, get them for $1 each. So it's been a really nice way to try some different flavors that way I'm not buying like a 4-pack of like this one where I'm not a huge fan of it. I can get through one and then I'm done with it. I don't have to drink any more of them. And they've been on this sale for a couple weeks now. And today is Wednesday, so the new ad is out. And so since we are grocery shopping this weekend, I need to check and see if they are still on sale. Because I'd be really excited if they were. Weekly ad.
Oh, yeah, I have a call at 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's fine.
My allergies are so crazy right now.
I understand that.
And you were talking about working out. I have 5-pound weights here, and I do this a lot. I do other things too, but when I'm like sitting at my desk, I can't get up and move around. I do that.
Okay, I have 5-pound weights at my desk too, but like sometimes I get cramps in the arches of my feet, and these dumbbells have like hexagons on the ends, and so I literally will put the arches of my feet on the edges and just roll the barbell back and forth on my arches. Yeah. I'm using my weights in a really good way. But I will tell you, you do not like if you have never had my grandma and my mom and my aunt all around 35, 40 started having fallen arches. And so I know I'm probably going to end up with fallen arches simply because my medical stuff follows my aunt and not my mom. My aunt has epilepsy. I have epilepsy. My aunt has lupus and fibromyalgia, and she has really bad like bronchial problems. I don't have the fibromyalgia and lupus, but I have the bronchial problems and the fallen arches. And I'm like, are we sure that that's not my mom? Let's see. I'm scrolling through the ads. Well, the ad. Oh, that's not horrible. And I say a package of lunch meat, and I say it's not horrible. It's $2 for a package of bologna. That's the world that we are living in. Let's see. Pringles are $1.29 with a coupon. I remember when the buy 5 save 5 made them $1. Here, Celsius. I'm really sad because I'm not seeing it. It does. Now, here's the thing. Something that I have learned, and I'm sure like anyone who's done grocery shopping as well, like if it's something that's going to be on sale for a while, it's not in every single ad. Like it'll be on like a little separate card by the ads at the front of the store. But Body Armor, Calypso Lemonade or Limeade, Hint Water, and Body Armor are 10 for 10 this week. And I know Sam sometimes likes the Body Armor. And I've heard a lot of things about Hint flavored water. So I might pick up a couple different flavors and maybe do like a couple taste test videos for a Fitness Friday. Let me see. Let me look over here. I have 1, 2, 3 Fitness Friday videos before. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. I have 4. I have this month. And then that very first Friday in July, I will have my progress report video to film. I'll end up filming it on Wednesday because I usually typically weigh in on Thursdays, but because we will be leaving on Wednesday, I will weigh in that morning. So I'll weigh in a day early. Okay. Let me know, Christy, and in the comments if you remember this. When we were growing up and we had to get cough syrup or codeine, the pharmacy could like flavor it. Cherry, grape, sometimes you could get strawberry. Do you know what I'm talking about, Christy?
Yeah, I used to work in a pharmacy.
Okay.
There's actually, I know that the typical are like 3 or 4 different flavors. There's actually about 30.
Well, did you ever have the grape one growing up?
Probably.
Okay, that is what this Celsius tastes like. It tastes like that funky off grape. Like, I mean,
none of the flavors taste good. They smell good when you're mixing them.
They smelled great. Like, the cough syrup smelled fine, but it was like deceiving because you would like, instead of like, and I think this is why I have problems taking cough syrup now, is because you would have a spoon, and I don't know about you guys, but my dad didn't use like a little teaspoon. He would use the big serving size spoons and he'd fill it and like jam it into your mouth. So like it was one serving all at once. And like my sister-in-law did that to me and I wasn't ready. And I ended up throwing it up all over her when I was little. And she got mad at me. And Dad's like, you can't do it the same way I do it because you didn't do it right. 1, you didn't count. 2, she hadn't plugged her nose yet. And 3, you didn't offer her a candy bar afterwards. It was the little tiny candy bars. And I got bribed to take my cough medicine. And because, man, it tasted bad. And I finally told him, I'm like, quit making it flavored. It makes it worse. So, like, I can take regular cough syrup or regular cough syrup with codeine, and am fine. But hand me something that's flavored, gag reflex goes into effect.
Did you know, this is from working in a pharmacy, up until, hold on, I'm trying to think of the year. I'm not really, probably 2008, maybe 2009. That the cough syrup with codeine that was like in the pharmacy, you could actually ask for it without a prescription.
Yes.
Until then.
Yeah.
And then they changed the law.
Mm-hmm. Because when I went to college down at OC, I was exposed, like, you're exposed to germs in school. You're exposed to germs out, like, in public. But going from a school where there was maybe 300 students to having your freshman class be 600 students, I was sick so much that first semester of college. Mom and Dad were.
Everybody was, because my first semester of college, I had strep throat and hospitalized 3 times.
I had strep twice. I had bronchitis a couple times. Thank goodness I had a couple friends who were Mom and Dad paid. They had a clinic on campus. They wouldn't take TRICARE, but Mom and Dad could pay, I think it was like $50 a semester for me to be able to go to the clinic. Let me tell you, they got my $50 worth out of that thing. I had friends who were willing to drive me like the 15 minutes from campus to go to Walgreens to pick up my prescription because I was sick so much first semester. But yeah, Mom and Dad, they're like, what can we do? I'm like, I need cough syrup because the cough syrup I'm getting here isn't doing anything. So Dad went to the pharmacy and said, I need 4 bottles of the cough syrup with codeine. Just walked up to the counter and like you say, you didn't have to have a prescription for it. And so he mailed me off 4 bottles of cough syrup with codeine.
Our college had a doctor's office, walk-in clinic on campus, as well as a pharmacy, and you didn't have to pay for it because you were a student. You just showed your student ID and you didn't have to pay for it.
See, it wasn't staffed by like college campus personnel. It was like an off clinic from one of the local hospitals that worked on campus. So we still had to pay for it, but it was like super, super cheap. Like it was like $50 per semester. And if you think about, if I was sick 4 or 5 times, I pay, that's, cheaper than my $30 per visit copay that I have now. So, but yeah, I remember that because, like I said, my dad mailed me several bottles. I want to say that Well, because even when Sam was active duty, I think that Mom and Dad even mailed us a box like at the holidays or something, and it had a couple bottles of cough syrup with codeine in it. But yeah, I'm staring outside, and the streets are dry. Good morning, Timothy Rainwaters. Welcome in. You would never have known it was pouring at like 1 o'clock this morning, and then it's supposed to start up again at like 9:30 and rain all day. And I'm done with the rain now.
I don't just supposed to have rain today.
Throwing it out there.
I'm gonna change my weather from Gatlinburg to here though.
Yeah, that would help.
Nope. But the high is 91.
I have a swap video that went out today. So if after the stream is over, make sure to go check out that. It's the Celebrate Summer swap.
Oh, my 9 o'clock meeting is canceled because another meeting was created.
Do you have to go to the other meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how they like schedule meetings over meetings.
Yeah. So yesterday,
I got meetings all day today.
Ew, that's gross.
It's funny because last week, well, it was also a holiday week. Last week, I only had 2 meetings the whole week.
So I'm sitting here yesterday and the mail truck comes by. And I always kind of watch. And like all last week, we didn't have any mail at all. So yesterday, it pulls up and it puts a big manila envelope in their mailbox. And I'm like, what is that? You know? So I went out and I got it. And it said to Sam from the Marion County District Court 8. And I'm like, what? What is going on? So I tried to call Sam and he was busy and didn't answer. So I just went ahead and opened it. It was a jury summons. With how kind of crazy Sam's mom can be sometimes, you just never know. But Sam's like, well, if it had been something that she did, the police would have had to deliver it. And I'm like, okay, true. So it's a jury summons. When is it a jury summons for? While we're on vacation. So I called the number that it said, and it just kept ringing busy. So I just called the number for the courthouse overall in Marion. And the lady answered, and I go, hey, this is for Lena Hall. Hey, Lena, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great, Laura. How are you? I'm like, I need to talk to somebody because my husband got a jury summons, and he wanted me to call because we're not even going to be in the state. Okay, she's like, okay, well, let me transfer you over to the other gal. And I said, okay. So a few minutes, Lena, how are you doing? How's everything? Well, it's going good, but Sam got a jury summons in the mail, and we're not gonna be here. And she's like, oh, well, that's okay. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be in Florida. And she's like, oh, I knew that. Your mom mentioned that because this lady volunteers at the food bank with my mom. So she's like, that's fine. We'll just put him in the rotation, not a problem. And Sam gets home and I tell him, I'm like, you got a jury summons for while we're on vacation. He's like, what? And I go, it's okay. I've already called and taken care of it. But I figure like last time one of the times that he was gone, because I think it's happened twice. And because one time Sam was gone. And yes, I'm tired of the rainwater outside. The rain out there can Stop.
I saw his message and I was going to say something, but you were still talking about the jury summons. So I was just like, I'll let her see it.
I saw it because I wanted, yes, I'm not tired of you. I'm tired of the wet stuff out there. One other time while Sam was gone, we had to literally take a copy of Sam's orders because he was at warrior leadership course out of state to the courthouse to prove that he wasn't in the state so that they would release him from jury duty. I asked, I'm like, do I need to send you like a copy of our itinerary? Like, what do you need from me to prove we're actually going to be out of state? She's like, oh no, you're fine. Okay. I guess.
Have you ever been summoned as an alternate juror?
Knock on wood, I actually have never been summoned for jury duty.
Are you registered to vote?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I take that back. I was summoned once in 2006, but I was in Oklahoma at school. And Dad went to the courthouse and said, hey, Lena's in college. She's not going to be able to come and leave school to do jury duty. And they're like, oh, that's fine. I haven't had the summons since.
I've been summoned a lot, but the last time I was summoned was when I was pregnant with my daughter, and which was 10 years ago now. And I was literally summoned 3 months in a row, but I was summoned as an alternate juror, which means I didn't have to go in unless they needed to replace a juror with the alternate. So okay. I'm sitting there, and I had to, for a whole month, each month, for the whole 3 months, when you're an alternate juror, at least in the state of Tennessee, I know other states are different, you have to call in by 7:30 in the morning to an automatic voice message that says, yes, you have been called to jury. You need to report here. Or no, you have not been called. So for 3 months, I had to do that. And I was never called. The other times that I have been summoned, once I was in the military and the other time I was in college. So I didn't have to go to either of those.
So.
But I think it would depend on what it is. But I think I'd probably find it pretty interesting. Because I've been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, and I'm intrigued. I'm like, this is so cool. I like to hear that, like, why something is being stricken or sustained or over.
That's hearsay, Christy. I'm sorry. That's hearsay.
Yeah. So the thing with the hearsay is the reason they say that is, for example, say we'll just use Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So Amber Heard was in a conversation with somebody else, and she said, they would say, that's hearsay, because you can't say what they said as you were the participant there. Now, if it was written or videoed or recorded in some way, then it's not hearsay. But if it was just like, oh, they said, you can't say what they said because that's considered hearsay. Now, if you said it and you say, I said, and you also can't say they seemed to be angry. That's also considered hearsay because you can't say they seemed. You can say what their physical reaction was, like say, I told them they were stupid. They threw something at me. You could say that, but you can't say they seemed angry because you can't, because that's hearsay. But if they physically did something again. So it's very interesting. I was like, that's so interesting. And the difference between sustained and stricken. If somebody says something and the lawyer objects and then the judge decides that it can be sustained, they leave it in the transcript, but they make a note saying this was sustained, you have to leave this out. So the jurors, when they go to review the case, can still see that it's there. But if it's stricken, it has to be completely removed from the transcript to where it's not on the transcript when the jurors go to review all the information to make their decision. I learned all this week, last week. I was so intrigued. I was like, I got to find out what this means. It was So funny.
Have you seen a court stenographer's keyboard?
No.
Okay, because it is, you'll find this. Let me pull one up. Okay. Share my screen.
And we all know what overruled means. They overruled, the judge overruled the objection, so the lawyer that was starting to.
This is a court reporter's keyboard.
Why does it look like that?
Because it is for them to type in shorthand.
Oh, so they have to actually learn how to do the shorthand.
Yes. It like my mom talked about, because do you know what a stenographer's notebook looks like?
Well, I just assumed that they now do voice to text.
Sometimes they do, but like in the courtroom, it all is still typed out, and it's a keyboard like this. It's all in shorthand. If you can go to YouTube, or you can actually go to or TikTok and type in court stenographer, and they'll tell you how they type and what each key does and how it functions. But they don't have a regular keyboard because they're like, it takes too long to type.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And so this is the progression up from the stenographs, which it looked like a long memo pad, but it had a red line down the center. And you had to learn how to write in these little columns in shorthand. My mom talks about it. It's a class that she actually took in high school. So it's a secretarial class. So I'm like, so this is the pre-texting shorthand.
I remember when I was in college, and I would talk to the guidance counselor, because I don't know, the college I went to, they were very, they didn't just want you to decide on what your major should be and go with it. They wanted to get to know you and kind of analyze your personality and what field would be suited best for you, because they wanted a high graduation rate and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably had 3 different guidance counselors throughout the time, because each of them kept on saying, I think you should go into criminal justice. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Now I know why they thought that, because I was so intrigued by it.
Christy.
I never did, though. My degree is not in criminal justice.
So if you could you could say, I want to go back. Okay, number 1, do you still have your GI Bill, or did you use it already?
I used it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got like 3 degrees, so I've definitely used it.
Did you have post 9/11 or Montgomery GI?
I had post.
Did you pay into Montgomery?
I had pre. So
you had Montgomery.
Yeah, because I signed literally the month before 9/11 happened.
Did you know? Because Sam started paying into Montgomery and then flipped to post 9/11. The government actually owes him for what he paid into Montgomery GI. So once he uses up post 9/11, which he will finish up, because Sam will graduate with his degree next December. He will I think, and I don't know, Sam, if you're one of the 2 watching, let me know. He has enough to maybe do 1 or 2 more classes under post 9/11, I think. But then he'll be able to get a few months out of Montgomery GI. The only difference is that with Montgomery GI, we won't get BAH. And I know there's some other differences as well. I don't know if we get money for books or that kind of thing, but he's still going to go through Kaiser, who participates in the Yellow Ribbon program, who gives Sam his books free of charge. So I was like, oh, wait, I might know something. You might have more money. But darn.
My company pays for me to go to school, which is like I mean that's why I have more than 2 degrees.
You should get one in criminal justice.
Yeah. Oh well, I was about to say I don't think that my company would pay for it, but yeah, I think they would because we do have lawyers here.
Mm-hmm. Because you would have pharmaceutical suits.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to be a pharmaceutical lawyer though. And the thing is like when for every year the company pays for school, that's a year you have committed after the fact. Yeah, after the fact, like once they pay it. So I guess a good example is like if I were to enroll for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm in that, my time with the company would not be calculated. It would be as soon as I finish that semester, then it starts calculating.
Yeah, I get that. Because if they're paying for school, they want you to focus on school, not focus on a job and school.
No.
One of the girls that I worked
with, the way ours works is I have to pay up front, and then once I get my grade back, I submit it and they pay. And they do it in levels. Like an A is 100%, a B is 80%, a C is 60% of how much they pay. Anything lower than a C, they don't pay for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that.
So I'd have to make all A's.
Yeah, come on, Christy, let's go. Be a mom and go to school full time, please. Let's go.
I've already been there, done that. I've gotten a lot of higher education. I mean, if I could go back and do it, I probably would do a different degree because my degrees are in journalism, marketing, psychology, and then my military degree is in pharmaceuticals. So I probably would because I don't use any of it. I mean, the pharmaceutical degree helped me get my job, but I don't use any of it.
Your degrees are just like pretty on the wall.
They're not even on the wall.
They're
in a box in the garage. So pretty on the wall, no. My husband's is on the wall. He has his desk is upstairs, and he has his on the wall in his office. But my office is down here in the general public of the house, so I have pretty stuff behind me.
So yeah, my dad keeps going, so Lena, when are you going to go back to school? And I'm like, I'm not. If I had been an intelligent individual, which I was not, because I was pressured into going to school by my parents, I would have put my foot down and said, no, I have struggled through 4 years of high school. I need a break. I will work. I will maybe take some core classes at the community college, but I need a break before going to a structured 4-year college. I didn't do that.
Yeah, I should have taken a break too. I didn't my freshman year, but I was like, I wouldn't say I was sheltered, but I would say I was sheltered through high school. I didn't do the typical things that high school kids do. I didn't go to parties. I didn't go drink. I didn't do any of that. I didn't do any drugs. So when I got to college, my dorm room was right in front of one of the frat houses. So my entire freshman year, I spent at the frat house. Drinking, playing volleyball, listening to music, going by a different name for whatever reason. I wanted to change my name. I changed it to my middle name. So that's when I joined the military. When I got out of the military is when I went back to school. But I lost my scholarship. So.
But yeah, mine wasn't like that. Like I will say I was sheltered through school. Like I didn't go to the parties. I was on youth court that tried the kids that got arrested at the parties. I didn't play sports because I wasn't athletic, but I managed the sports. You know, I was the theater geek. I was the band geek. But
Hey, yeah, that was me.
But like, it's really hard to say, oh, I would like the popular kids weren't like in band or in theater, because that wasn't true. And a small, like, the popular kids were in band and in choir and in theater. And I remember we were having an extra rehearsal before show opening night. I think it was when we did the Wizard of Oz, and we were all at the downtown theater waiting, and we're like waiting, and we're like, why are we not getting started? It's like a half an hour later, and Mrs. Janet Killow, who was the theater director, goes, okay, it's going to be another half hour before we're able to get started. And we're like, why? Because the football bus is delayed, and two of our main characters were on the football bus. And they're like, they're going to be here in about 15, the bus is going to be here in about 15 minutes. They're going to go shower, because they're like, we'll just come. And she's like, you're not coming straight from a football. You're going to go home and shower.
Right.
Like, for the love of everyone, we will wait for an extra half an hour.
It's so funny because you say that, and that's the way ours was too. So you had people that weren't popular on the football team. You had people that were popular on the football team. Same with band and choir and drama and all of it. Like, it was a mix.
Yeah.
Because like all the movies kind of make it look like band people are not popular. It's not that. It has nothing to do what you're interested in.
Yeah.
It has everything to do about your personality.
Yeah. Well, and I always thought it was, and I kind of thought about it then, but like, it kind of was one of those random thoughts that flits in and floats out. But then as an older adult, you think about it more. Like, when you walked in the doors of the theater, there was no, she's popular, he's not, he's a nerd, she's not, everyone was there because they wanted to enjoy being in the production. Yeah. There was no popular, non-popular, nerd, geek, LGBTQ.
That didn't even exist.
That didn't exist when we were in school. So like, that wasn't a thing.
Let's clarify that so we don't look.
Yeah, it probably existed.
The label of LGBTQ was not something when we were in school. There were still people that were that liked the same gender and things like that, or that were wanting to be transgender, but it wasn't as publicized. There wasn't a label particularly for it. And they weren't judged as harshly. Not in my school. No one was judged as harshly as they are now for their differences.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It is weird. Even like different races in my high school, they were not judged as harshly as they are now. At all. You could be Spanish, you could be Asian, you could be Black, you could be white, you could be Indian. They were not judged in my high school like that.
They weren't. I agree.
I don't know if it's just because of the area I lived in where they weren't judged. I mean, yeah, I live in Tennessee, but I didn't live in a very rural area. I've lived in a city, Knoxville, and they were accepting of everybody. At least when I was in school, I never saw it. What I did see a lot of are white fights. Fist fights, bleeding between guys and girls. Like, they
I agree.
Punch out, blood all over the place, and it was always.
And then the next day, they were best friends.
Now ours would get suspended, so you wouldn't see them again. At least for a while.
If the guys had a problem, they would take it out on each other on the football field or on the basketball court. There would be blood. There may be a broken bone. And the next day, their arms are slung around each other and they are best friends.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, but about being friends. But it's so strange because
it is. It's very strange to go to look at like what we dealt with and like what went on then. It's like, what the heck happened? Like, all of us
started being more judgmental.
Think about it's like our age. Like, we weren't judgmental like this when we were in school. But then like our generation got older, and all of a sudden, we've become judgmental. Like, and I use we as in like a generational age type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, like, for example, one of the boys that I went to school with, his dad was the minister of one of the Christian churches in Florence, which was part of our school district. And he came out as gay, and his family kicked him out of the house. They put all of his stuff on the curb and said, you will now deal with it. You're going to have to find a place to live. His parents actually severed parental rights, and our drama teacher adopted him. And so, like,
he really had issues like that. I remember in middle school, I dated a guy. Well, and you know how middle school dates go. You hold hands and you're like, ooh. I dated a guy. When we got in high school, he came out as gay, and nobody had any issues with it. I was kind of like, okay, why did you date me? And he was like, well, I was scared to come out then. I was like, but you didn't have to date me. He was like, well, I kind of did. You asked me, and if I had said no, people would have thought I was gay. I was like, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And he's like, you're right. I don't know why I was so scared. That's just how our school was. They weren't
in my way.
Weren't judgmental at all.
Christine Hickman says, I want to go back and get an archaeology and history degree. I loved school. I liked school to a point. I still have problems with math and science. And for school, we don't have contracts as paras. We get an email. Are you coming back next year or not? That's how ours works. We do not have a contract. Simply because it's a county co-op, and if need be, they may move you to a different school in the county, but they will take your preferences into consideration first, unless it's like for me, I don't have a degree in special education. So I work generalized, but if they need someone who has a degree, who has completed CPI training, and they need them for a one-on-ones elsewhere in the county, they'll pull from one school and move them to where they're needed, type of thing. So when we got the email, I think it was like April 19th or something. I can actually look. Okay. But okay. Let's see. Yeah, April 19th. I said I plan to be back, and I would like to stay in 5th grade. And my boss goes, well, I can guarantee that you can stay at the elementary. I just can't guarantee like what grade level. So I had to go over to the co-op and take care of some other business anyway. So I popped in and I said, hey, do you have a second? And she's like, yeah, sure. What's going on? So I explained to her, and I said, and I was up front with this, when I started last, in 2020, that I struggle sometimes with math and science. And I feel like I've gotten a good handle on what the 5th grade has been teaching. And I understand the concepts that they want to teach. I would really appreciate it if some way, you're able to put me in 5th grade next year. And she goes, I understand where you're coming from. I still can't make any guarantees. And I won't know where I'm at until beginning of August. So I won't know for oh my gosh, I go back to work in 2 months.
Oh my gosh, I'm at work right now.
Me too.
Like 2 months from today, I will be at a training, like right now. I'm scared.
I traveled to Texas for work in 2 months.
Like literally, I will come back from vacation and have 3 weeks until I go back to work.
Oh, my foot fell asleep.
Me.
Check on your teachers and paras, because if they're like me and just realize that they only have 2 months left of summer break, they're not okay.
Didn't summer break just start?
Yep. I have 2 months.
Oh my gosh. How long is
I will be right back. I got a potty before my call.
Okay, that's fine. We teachers and staff go back for training the beginning of the month. Then my schedule fluctuates for the following like 2 weeks. Let me pull up August calendar. I have a training on the 3rd, my yearly training. And then since we have a new teacher, all of the K5, all 3 of the K5 SPED teachers moved on after this year. So K1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 will all have brand new teachers.
Why'd they move on?
SPED teachers don't typically stay in a district for very long. Unless they have a super tight connection to that area. A lot of special education teachers are driving. Like, at least I know one of our teachers drove from Wichita, which is an hour. One of our teachers drove from Hutchinson, which is a little over an hour, depending on what route she had to take. And one of our teachers drove, I think, from in town. So 2 of the 3 lived out of town, and their reasoning for moving on. One of the ladies turned 65 and was able to retire with her CAPERS benefits. They offered her an early retirement option. So she took that. CAPERS is the Kansas Association, KPER. It's the teacher retirement pay thing that we pay into each month. And it's kind of like a separate retirement plan. And like you pay into it every month, every time you get paid. And then so she was like, I'm going to go ahead and take the early retirement option, especially with the price of gas, driving an hour both ways, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, it just, it's starting to be more costly. And it was, so that was the way it was for a couple of the teachers. Timothy Rainwater says good morning to Sammy.
Good morning, Timothy.
So that was their reasoning, and the other gal is there's pretty much they wanted more pay, and they could get more pay at a bigger district. So if it goes kind of the way it did last year, I will have training on the 3rd, which is the first week of August, the first Wednesday. Then somewhere the second week of August, I will have to go in for 2 to 3 days. One, to get to know the new teacher, get to know what students we have. We get what's called I'm trying to think. It's called like it's like we had to turn all of that stuff in to be shredded at the end of the year. So I'm trying to think exactly what it's like an overview, or no, it's called an IEP snapshot. It gives as a para the specifics on what we need to know.
Bye, Tim. Have a good day at work.
Okay, have a good day, Timothy. Thanks so much for popping in for a while with us. It gives us an overview of what the students' needs are. Like maybe they get anxious at tests, and so before they take a test, we go walk a lap around the school. It's things like, and usually I'm trying to think how to explain it without giving a lot of detail. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Well, like if it's I'll use one. There's a family at school. Mom and both of the daughters both work as paras in the school. If we were having a meeting about let's use the grades that were last year, 4-5 IEP meeting, snapshot overview meeting, and one of the daughters or somebody else walks in, we literally have to stop talking. We cannot continue the conversation because they do not work with those students. We cannot continue to discuss the IEP with them in the room because it's confidential information to that student.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and put myself away for this meeting. And
Okay.
if it's still on when it's done, I'll come back.
How long's your meeting, Chrissy?
I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll probably be on for a little while longer.
Okay.
Okay. Just put yourself away.
Up in the pocket.
I'm just going to pop her down here. That will go. And I'll just keep an eye down there. So we last year we had 3, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 kids between 4th and 5th grade. So it takes a while to go through. But when I say an IEP snapshot, it means out of like the 50 pages of their IEP, we have 10.
Yeah, it's just as much as it can.
Right. As much information as we are legally allowed to see, we go over. And so like maybe if I stay in 4 or 5, and one, it's helpful for the teachers to hear from the paras, especially if they've worked with them before, to say, hey, this student, it doesn't say it in the IEP, but he has really bad test anxiety. He doesn't have anything in his IEP for it. But what we found last year is that if we went outside and did some balabizics, which is like, it's hand-eye coordination stuff, and I did it in school too. You bounce balls and throw beanbags and do them in patterns, and it does something with your brain to get it on track. If we do balabizics for 2 minutes before he takes a test, he does a lot better than if we don't. So that's the kind of stuff that we go over. And maybe we're getting a whole new batch. Like, we know the 4th graders because we worked with them a little bit last year, or we know kind of some of the things that we've been in the room with them, but we don't know anything about the incoming 4th graders. So we may reach out to the other class and say, hey, can you come in here for a second? We're discussing a student that you worked with last year. We need some like insight on this student. Because being a 4 or 5 para, I don't interact a whole lot on the IEP side with any of the other grade levels, unless it's like I worked with several 1st graders. So I know a little bit, but I don't have their IEPs. I only know what I did during certain time slots.
Yeah.
So like they may come in and say, oh, well, for Sammy, she has a problem playing with her hair during class. So
it's bothering me. I'm sorry.
I'm using that, but so that's like one of the things that we might talk about. Like Sammy has a hard time playing with her hair in the class. She'll take it out, put it back up, take it out, put it back up. The teachers, because some of the teachers will like braid their hair and stuff for them. If one of the teachers braids her hair, she'll take it out like 30 minutes later. It's a real problem. So we made a sticker chart and put it on her desk. And if she got through the first lesson without playing with her hair, she got a sticker. And if she got it for the whole day, the next day she'd get 2 extra minutes at recess, type of thing. So that's kind of stuff that isn't in the IEP, but it's helpful to know about a student. So
right.
That's what we'll
like
do.
Their
that
distracted tendencies and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Like maybe you, and using you again as an example, is really fun. You and Christy are in the same class, and you guys just don't get along. And when we go to look at the chart,
just kidding.
the how they divided up the students that year, you and Christy are in the same class, and we would go, no, this cannot happen because they fight, they don't get along. It's better if we separate them. So that's when we call the principal into things and say, hey, I don't know who did this, but this can't happen. Like, we cannot have them in the same classroom. They need to be separated. So like,
yeah, get her out of here.
Sometimes it comes down to like a parent may like say, no, we have specified that Christy must be in Mrs. Doodle Bops class. So Sammy would get moved to, Mrs. Sunbeam's class instead. And so they would take someone from the other class and switch them. It's things like that because but we understand that they will have to get along. But when you're dealing with kids with IEPs,
you don't want to make it harder for them.
Exactly. Now, it's a federal mandate thing, and each school calls it something different. We call it MTSS. It's math and reading, extra math and reading. Maybe during MTSS, because it's about a half an hour, we would put you and Christy in the same MTSS group. That way you have 30 minutes of interaction time and, pair you together in the project to force you to learn how to work together. Mm-hmm. But in the long term of things, we have you in separate classes because we know things aren't going to go well if you're in the same classroom.
Right.
So that'll be like the second week. And that'll, like I said, be 2 or 3 days, depending on how long it takes, how many students we have to go over, that kind of thing. And then the third week of August is when school starts. And so typically we will be in there at least 2 or 3 days. We'll help with classroom setup and we will help decorate the classroom and get things ready for Wednesday, which will be open house, which we don't attend unless there's a specific reason why we should be attending. Like usually the one-on-ones will attend so that the parents know who is going to be working with their student. But like for me as a general classroom para, I don't attend. I don't have to be there. And then school will start officially on Thursday the 18th. And then the 18th and 19th are kind of fluff days, like get to know the teacher, get to know classroom procedures, get to know your schedule, get to know this, get to know that. Good morning, honey. Welcome
in. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Sunshine. The earth says hello.
So, and then I am really excited because I'm not on the bus this year. I get to sleep in a little bit. I will get up about 7 o'clock. No, I will get up about 6 o'clock because I will leave a little after 7. So Sam said that was a high-scoring game last night for the Avs.
Yeah, but they need to not play like butt heads.
I told Sam, you and Sam may be going like at each other.
What is he the Rangers?
Yeah.
Boo!
See, I don't care. So I'm just sitting here going. Sam found out he gets the hockey games live on one of the apps. So he was excited about that last night.
Oh, nice.
I was asleep by the time he came to bed. I had planned, and I'm going to make it today. I marinated a chicken. If you've been at, like, I think Walmart and Target both sell it. The brand is G. Hughes, and it's sugar-free. I think he was like a boxer or something, but he created his own line of like marinades and steak sauces and barbecue sauce and ketchup and all that kind of stuff. And it's really good. Like I am picky, and Sam will attest to this on like my honey mustard.
Ew, I hate mustard. Ranger born, Ranger proud was in the arena back in '94 when we won the cup. That was the year I was born. Also, I thought you were going to say something about being a Power Ranger.
Go Power. Oh, I have my Megazord.
But that's just like when he's like, Ranger born, Ranger proud. Power Ranger!
Sam got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago. It's the Megazord with the letter. And the sword is the letter.
I remember you showed me that when you got it.
It sat in the box for a year. And then when I was reorganizing my desk,
I
I
think
put
that's
them
when
on
you
my
showed
desk.
it to me.
Samson's God, I'm old.
28 years ago, you guys won that cup.
Oh my gosh. So it's been kind of sunny since I got up. And now I can tell that we're in for the rain to come back because all of a sudden it got dark. Like you can probably see.
It was rainy yesterday. It's gonna be rainy today. Evie's outside. I'm like, let me know when you want back in. I'm cold. I'm not leaving this door open. Oh, my hair is bothering me today.
It looks fine. Quit messing with it. Put on a pair of Mickey ears and you'll be fine. You're weird. So I won't, like, typically I buy up. Last year I knew that I was going to be at the Element 1940 and 1994. Even with Gretzky, we couldn't get it again.
Not gonna be again this year either.
You two can fight between yourselves.
Go X, go X, go X, go X. As unite.
Okay, and you know what it sounds like you're saying?
What?
Go abs, go abs, like you're cheering on your abs.
Come on, get there. You can build it.
Sammy, I am 2.4 pounds away from my 50 pounds. I weigh in tomorrow morning. So I decided that I want to work out with it being the summer, there's some of the like college guys are back and using the gym and high school guys are using the gym. And that makes me like, it's a different vibe. Did you hear it?
The thunder?
Yep.
It was my wedding day.
And it's thundering.
Clouds in the sky. Thunder!
The Evie just ran in.
I know. I just
okay
for her.
Okay. Just so you know that I watched her run to Fred in the background.
Oh, I was like, did you see the black mass?
Yeah. But we can't go school supply shopping for me until after the 3rd. So, because I don't know what I need. Like if I'm in 5th grade again, I'm going to need notebook paper and, mechanical pencils and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm
they still do the thing where they like put the grade like out like in Walmart or wherever you go shopping. It's like, if you're in grade 5, these are the supplies you need.
Yeah, the school supply list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I challenge everyone watching, which I know is probably just Sam, and we'll do it anyway. But if you're watching on replay,
there's a replay.
I challenge you to go to your local Walmart, Target, grocery store, because most grocery stores have them. Pick a grade from your local school district and put together a bag with that grade level of school supply in it and drop it off at your local school district office and tell them, hey, I wanted to make a donation. This is a full school supplies for X grade. Let me tell you, they know the families who will definitely make use of that.
We always got like the free backpack with school supplies for our grade and stuff. Mm-hmm. What was I going to say? Oh, if you're in Colorado, bring your reusable bag because they charge you for bags.
Yeah. If you have a student, 5th grade and older, for the love of everything, buy them mechanical pencils. For the love of everything, buy them mechanical pencils.
When I was in 5th grade, mechanical pencils were like a luxury.
Because kids
now they're so cheap. You can just get a big old pack for super cheap.
Yep. And let me tell you, it's so much simpler to give a child a couple pieces of lead if they run out than no. My pencil won't sharpen.
Oh, do you guys still have the wall sharpeners?
Yes. and then half the time they don't work.
And then you hit your hand on the wall.
Or they're the cheap pencils that don't sharpen, or they sharpen one edge to where they're like, just for the love of everything, buy. And don't go to Dollar Tree and buy them, because you can get those, like, the lead isn't real lead. It breaks. Invest a few dollars into a pack of Bic mechanical pencils and buy some.
My mechanical pencils. Oh, my. They're not that expensive. You can get like a big pack on Amazon for super cheap.
Yeah, even these like Papermates 0.9, perfect. If you're afraid that your kid's gonna like break their lead all the time, get them the 0.9 lead. I am telling you, we probably lost over the school year a week in learning time. My pencil won't sharpen.
So why don't you guys get a mechanical sharpener?
Because that is a budget thing. The teachers have to pay for those out of pocket.
Has a lot of money. Buy a crap ton of mechanical sharpeners and donate them to Lena's school.
Donate them to your local school.
Well, my local school had them.
But typically they belong to the teachers.
No, I think ours was the school, because they were like really big and they had like the school sticker on them.
And here comes the rain. Doo doo doo.
Thunder!
Right?
There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
You can't say that. But it's like, we are in so many flood watches and that kind of thing that it's not even funny.
Oh, I didn't fucking live out there. 8 a.m.
But so, and then, like I said, the first couple of days are like fluff days. I was talking with one of this year's fifth grade teachers, because they call it doing upset the fruit cart, and they switch around what teachers are teaching what grade. And this time it was 3 through 5 getting switched around. So I was talking with the one fifth grade teacher who's staying, and the past few years, it's been like one of the teachers teaches a couple subjects, the other teacher teaches the other. This year, because there were 3 fifth grade classes, each teacher taught a different subject. One taught science, social studies, one taught math, one taught reading. And so next year, they're not doing it that way. The teachers teach every subject, and there's no moving around. And she's like, I don't want to do that. I liked having one thing to plan for, not 4. And I said, she agreed with, like, we asked her kids and they agreed that it was really confusing for them doing, like, not knowing if they were doing science that day or social studies that day, because the one teacher taught both. And I'm like, instead of blocking it into 3 learning blocks, you may have to block it into 4. She goes, yeah, the thing is she was hired over the summer, and she kind of got inserted into the mix. And so hopefully this next year, she'll, with her and the other 5th grade teacher will have a little bit more input on how the day goes, because they're doing their own thing. They have to calculate in for what are called specials. Guidance, they have every other week, they have guidance. Then they have every week they have library. And this year they added Spanish back into the mix. I don't know if they're going to have Spanish next year as well. But so that if they just have to kind of account for those things, and then, PE and music. But one of my friends is the music teacher, and she said that the schedule is going to be different typically the last like 2 or 3 years, 4th grade has been the very last class of the day to have music and PE. And this next year they're doing it. The afternoon is 3rd, 4th, and then 5th. And so the very last thing is PE and music, which I think will be good. You know, it's just right in order. So, Sammy, I'm going to leave you in charge for a few minutes because I have to run to the bathroom.
Okay. That's a lot of need from me, but okay.
Talk to the nice people.
Hello. Can you hear me? I'm just working, guys, so hopefully she pees fast. Listen here, Paul. Did you add him? How are you gonna ask me to include somebody, but then you don't even include them? Like, how does that even make sense? Let me tell you, it doesn't. That's how people.
Okay, I'm back. I also have to get something to drink.
Because this person was like, please include this person on any correspond, whatever. And they didn't
Correspondence?
Yeah, thank you. They didn't even CC them on them themselves. So I was like, okay, CCing them on here for you. Like,
let me do your job.
Are you asking me? Like, I only have to put the people that I get told to put on there, and that person wasn't on there, so they didn't get emailed. So if you want them on there, you can CC them. Like, I don't know if just like you're a real estate agent, you should understand how to do emails.
So have you got your Stitch Day collab thing done yet?
That is a really funny joke.
I made a cocktail.
I know, it looked good.
And you'll be proud of me. I only took a couple sips of it on camera, one off camera, and then poured out the rest.
That makes me very sad.
The cocktail was like 6 points.
Okay, I get that, but it still makes.
That's the equivalent of half a cup.
Put it in a bottle and shipped it to me.
That was the same amount of points as half a cup of potato salad.
So that's why I stopped. I can't live my life on this point metric.
And see, I just wanted the potato salad. So, and I want to get that 50 pounds. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. How am I going to get there? You know, so. But
no,
then
I'm proud of you.
I figured out what I'm going to do. You will be proud. I figured out what I'm doing for the Christmas in July collabs. I shared a picture of it in the chat on Instagram. It's a brownie and strawberry skewer, and it's got strawberries and a big marshmallow and a brownie bite and more strawberries on it. And I'm like, okay, how can I make this Weight Watchers friendly? So I looked up marshmallows, and one giant marshmallow is 1 point. And I'm like, okay, I can work with that. So I have my Fiber One brownie bars that I'm going to cut into small little pieces, into fourths, and make a skewer with. So I'm making that for the recipe. And then I'll see if I pinned it. Let's see.
Ow!
What?
I rolled over my toe.
You're weird.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. I found it.
I got the chills. Shivers down my spine.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to make for the Christmas in July craft.
Oh, I love that. I'm in those.
Okay. But here's the thing. This is what I have. I have 3 different blocks that are 3 different sizes, but they stair step. So I'm gonna make it like that.
I love that. I have I did something like that. Shoot. But I did the believe sign. Ow.
Oh, the what I need to do next is I need to sand them, and Sam said he would sand them for me this weekend, so I can work on them over the weekend or next week.
Nice.
So I was like, I did have another one of the smallest one, so I thought about doing like this, Sammy, like that. But then I realized I had one that was taller, and I liked how it stair.
I like the stair stepper better.
So I was like, okay, yay. So I'm excited about that. And I have the vinyl. I have the paints. So I'm good to roll there.
Maybe what I can do when my mom's in town, we can do like, I can look in the, let me go look. I wonder if there's like a Lilo and Stitch themed recipe.
Maybe, let me go grab my cookbook real quick.
That's what I'm grabbing right now. Wasn't a cloud in the sky. All right, let's see if there's Lilo and Stitch.
I got the Disney Parks Drink, an official cookbook, is in one of my swaps.
Oh, I have the Disney unofficial Disney Parks cookbook.
I have that one too somewhere. Okay.
Where would Stitch be located?
Adventureland?
Yeah, but what? Oh, California Adventure? No.
He's in Tomorrowland at the Magic Kingdom. At Disney World.
Okay. So.
Hold on just a second. My phone's ringing.
Ew, corn dogs are gross. Those look good. I wonder, because if you can make a Mickey ice cream sandwich, I wonder if there's like a Stitch, like cookie cutter thing. You could do a Stitch ice cream sandwich. Ew, do people get that? A peanut butter and jelly milkshake? That sounds disgusting.
Okay, I'm back. That was my daddy. My dad, when he gets bored, he likes to bake, which isn't good because he has diabetes. He's like, do you think Sam would like a big piece of chocolate cake? And I'm like, pretty sure Sam would love a big piece of chocolate cake. Okay, Okay, well, I'll bring that over to you a little later and a couple other things. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and can you take this envelope back to the district court for me? You kind of missed it, Sammy, because you weren't on yet. But Sam got a jury summons yesterday. And I had to call and tell him, we're going to be on vacation. He won't be there. And they're like, okay, that's fine. But they had a questionnaire that you were supposed to fill out and mail back. And it was a prepaid postage paid of $1.16. And they're like, you could just throw everything in that envelope away. And I'm like, do you want your prepaid envelope back? And they're like, oh, that would be great. So I'm like, Dad, can you take this envelope back by the courthouse? He's like, why are you giving something to the courthouse? And I had to explain to him. And he's like, oh, okay. Okay, so let's see.
Okay, wait, I'm in Epcot and I'm thinking if there's a Hawaii.
Trying to find something in here.
Oh, do they not have Hawaii? Oh my gosh, because I had at the festival.
I just went with like something that was tropical themed with the drink that I made because I couldn't find something that really sparked my interest.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that what I was going to say is that when I was out there for
you know what I mean?
What is it called?
I thought I had found something, but it's Star Wars, not Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, the blue milk.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that I could do like if I can find a Lilo, like a Stitch cookie cutter.
I may have found you something, Sammy.
What is it?
Are you talking to me? Am I muted?
Do you not hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can't hear you.
Is your computer sound off?
I have the volume turned down on my computer.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I've been talking this whole time to you.
Nice. I'm like, why can't I hear her? It's called the Polynesian Punch. It's from Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace at the Polynesian. It's 2 ounces of passion fruit juice, 1 ounce of orange juice, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, an ounce of guava nectar, half an ounce of orgeat. There's a recipe to make that. Half an ounce of falernum. There's a recipe to make that.
That sounds way too hard.
I was like, well, never mind. That's sounding way too hard. Here's a Skipper Sipper. It's mint leaves, lime juice, agave syrup, pineapple, orange juice, ice cubes, and club soda. So,
I don't know. I'll have to look something up.
yeah.
I'm gonna put this back.
Oh, here's one. It's pomegranate lemonade. It's lemonade, pomegranate juice, and lime juice. And it's from the Polynesian. See? It's that many.
I like pomegranate.
But your mom might.
Mm-mm. She won't. My mom's bigger than I am.
I see we have 2 people watching. Hello. Make sure to say hello to us in the comments so we can chat with you. Acknowledge your presence in our lives this morning. So, no, Sam's getting chocolate cake. I'll probably have like a teeny tiny little taste.
What's in the cloud in the sky? No clouds are loud in the sky. Thunder. I have that song stuck in my head.
You're strange.
Do you even know what it's from?
No, but that's okay.
Encanto.
I haven't seen Encanto. I've heard enough of it.
What? I'm shooketh.
I've heard enough of Bruno from first grade.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
See, nope, that's right. We don't talk about it. So shush. Ha 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 ha. Ha.
Bye. That's all, folks. I blame you for this.
Okay, so yesterday was our day road trip to Branson vlog that went up, and Sean from Mickey Sightings commented, "Great video. I could never trust Taco Bell while on a road trip."
Oh my gosh, he's funny.
Oh, that cracks me up.
Funny man.
That made me laugh. Not gonna lie.
I had Taco Bell yesterday.
That doesn't shock me.
We had Taco Bell. I haven't had Taco Bell in quite a long time, actually.
So the Subway app is wigging out.
Wigging.
And I say this because it happened to me. So I went in and I was not feeling well after my eye appointment. I mean, this eye that gives me problems anyway was poked and prodded and air blasted into it and light shined in it and iodine put in it and all kinds of stuff. And it went, to my stomach, hey, you're going to feel like you're going to throw up now. So one, I didn't get to complete my 5K on the treadmill like I wanted to. And two, I did not feel like making dinner. So we were on the treadmill and I just looked over at Sam and he was doing 15-minute interval runs. And I looked over at Sam and I go, Sam, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Can we just order Subway for dinner? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Not a big deal. So I ordered Subway. And they had a deal in the app where you could get a combo for $7.99, which is, a really good deal considering the sandwich itself is like $10, $11, and then you have to add $3.50 for, to make it a meal.
Right.
So it was a really good deal. So I put Sam's in because Sam's is saved in the app, and all I have to do is edit the sauce, and I did, and it was fine. So I go to put mine in, and I made all my changes and edits, and I saved it. And when I went to check out, it had all of my changes in it. So we leave the gym, go pick it up, and we get home. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they forgot cheese on my sandwich. That's weird. So I'm like getting ready. I put mayo on it, and I'm looking at my sandwich, and I'm like, my sandwich is wrong. None of my edits stayed.
Oh, really?
So, and I went, Sam, is your sandwich okay? He's like, yeah, my sandwich is fine. So we went back and they're like, oh my gosh, you are the third person that it's done this to. I'm like, do you want the old sandwich back just to add to it? And they're like, we can't do that. We'll just make you a new sandwich. Excuse me. So Sam is going to have a turkey Subway for lunch. And I'm going to peel apart the other half of my turkey sandwich. Okay. So I have been avoiding hamburger buns since January because I'm stupid, apparently.
Why?
Okay, so if I just go to the store and grab a regular loaf of bread, one slice of bread is like 3 to 4 points. So a sandwich just in bread is 6 to 8 points just for the bread.
Which is a lot.
Right. That's like a third of my points for the day right now, just in bread. So Sara Lee 45-calorie bread is 2 points a slice or 4 to make a sandwich, which is better. So we were getting stuff because originally my parents were supposed to be gone over the long weekend. They were going to go visit my brother and I in Dakota and then come home on Monday. Well, Mom's car started having some problems and it made Dad upset and he wasn't feeling good. So they came home on Sunday. They only were gone a couple nights. So we went over there and we got buns to grill hamburgers here at home. One Great Value brand hamburger bun is 3 points. I can make a sandwich on a hamburger bun. I'm like, That saves me a point in bread.
Yeah.
And I thought I was crazy. Like, people would look at me like I was insane. I'm like, I miss the Subway round buns that they used for kids' meals back in the 90s, 2000s. And people are like, Subway's never had round buns. That must be someplace else. I'm like, no, it was Subway. I know, because we went there after church and we would have a kids' meal, because on Sunday, a kids' meal was $1.99 with an adult combo purchase. I know this. Like, I'm not going crazy. So I follow this, but people are like, no, it wasn't Subway. So here I am sitting and doubting myself, going, maybe it wasn't, but I swear it was Subway. I swear. So I follow this girl called Tara Town on TikTok, and she does things that you will remember from the 90s. She talked about the round buns from Subway.
Did she?
I'm like, I feel vindicated now.
That's funny.
I'm like, I knew I wasn't crazy.
You're like, haha, all of you are crazy.
Because, like, I'm like, I knew that they had them. And like, no, they didn't. That was someplace else. And I'm like, yes, it was. It was Subway.
That's so funny. And they're like, yes, it was us. It was.
So, what I'm gonna do is, because if you've ever kept Subway over, like, as half of a sandwich overnight or something, the bread gets soggy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take apart.
So how much is Subway's bread?
A turkey sandwich, their bread is 5 points for half a sandwich. For a 6-inch. Turkey on my plan is 0. So I only am counting the points for the bread. Plus I get 1 point back automatically for veggies. And it's probably could be considered 2 points back for veggies, because I really load mine up. But I only count it as the one that they count. So what I'm going to do with my great value hamburger bun is I'm going to take apart the Subway sandwich and throw away the soggy, icky bread. And I'm going to rebuild it on a hamburger bun.
So funny.
And feel like I'm back in the 90s eating my kids' meal. There's just no toy.
You can just play with your letter opener.
Yay, sharp objects!
And then you can feel like you have a toy.
That's right. I have 3 tiny little pimples appearing on my chin, and they kind of hurt.
Oh, that sucks when they're the ones that hurt.
And they're teeny tiny.
Leave them alone.
I'll put toothpaste on them later.
Leave them alone.
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
I swear toothpaste is the best zit remover. I like it better than tetracycline cream, because the tetracycline cream will, like, literally dry your face out. But
the toothpaste never worked for me.
Toothpaste, like, it didn't work for me as a kid, but it works for me as an adult.
I don't know. I just use because I see a dermatologist. Is that what they're called? A skin doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like medication, and that's like my face. I have no like foundation or anything on my face right now. It's been very good for my skin.
I'm so happy for you. But no, I have about once or twice a month, I end up with a few little pimples, and these ones right here are just, they fleet. So I'll put some toothpaste on them after bed. And I know that probably sounds really weird to the people listening, but it really does work. And I have found that, and it's really weird that I have it right here, but I was filming a video. The Colgate, the Colgate Optic White. Okay, am I better now?
Yeah.
Okay. The Colgate Optic White is what I find works the best. And it's what I use to brush my teeth anyway. So there's something about, it's probably the whitener in it, because I think it's hydrogen peroxide that helps pull the crap out of your pimples and helps them heal.
Science. Wasn't a cloud. I had that song stuck in my head, and it's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
Speaking about weather.
You're scaring me.
Oh, my back hurts. Excuse me. Oh, 1 second. Will you mute me? I can't see my mute button.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so you're left with me. Just like give me a thumbs up or something when you're ready to be unmuted. I'm over this rain. Like, it's never ending. And I mean, I guess I should be thankful because it helps keep the temperature down and like I'm able to turn off the air conditioners and stuff, but I like to go on walks in the summer or like be able to walk to the gym, and I don't like getting wet. Like, I could go to the pool and that's different, but like getting rained on bugs me and I don't know why. So, and I'm like, I can't walk to the gym because I'm going to get wet, or I might get struck by lightning. These are the things that run through my head. I am drinking some seltzer water. I finally finished that Celsius earlier, and I'm drinking a raspberry 0-calorie seltzer water from Dillon's. It's a Kroger brand. It's actually pretty good. I thought I was doing some I've been doing clean, like pre-vacation cleaning. And I have a checklist that I'm working through, and I kind of had to do, I've had to like rearrange my schedule a little bit because Sam did some clean out in the garage. And so we have 2 dumpsters, and I don't care how much you clean your house, like trash multiplies. It's like Tupperware lids and socks that go missing. It just appears out of nowhere. So and then I'm probably going to have Sam go check it when he gets home tonight, just to make sure everything's still okay. Our hot water tank is in our cellar-ish basement, and it flooded the beginning of the week. And so we had no hot water for like 2 days. And so I couldn't wash dishes for 2 days. And I've been going through the house and like looking for the dirty dishes that got like set in random places and that kind of thing. So I am slowly but surely working through all of my lists and getting things done. And that way, I have found that if I make myself a list, that I am more likely to complete the things on my list because I can check them off. And I'm not feeling so overwhelmed. I divided it by room. Like this one says living room, kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. It doesn't have Sam's office on there because Sam said he's going to take care of that on his own. And so I have that to complete. Then what I made as far as getting ready for vacation is that the day that probably Monday and Tuesday and part of Wednesday, I will complete this. It says day of vacation cleaning, but it's going to be like the week of. Things like making the bed, I will make sure and get that done Wednesday morning when I get up. Like there's things like our trash goes out on Wednesdays, like today. So all the trash, I want to make sure like Peach's litter box is changed, clean out the refrigerator, all that kind of stuff I will do on Monday and Tuesday so that Wednesday morning the trash can get picked up and we can put the garbage cans away and not have to worry about them while we're gone. So like I do plan to do a live stream that morning. So I'll probably get up when Sam leaves to go to work and get this all done so that I don't have to worry about it. So I have that list and I have it pinned to my bulletin board that's like right here by my desk. And then I have my list that I'm working through just sitting here on beside me. I'm working on grocery list because we go grocery shopping in a couple days, and that kind of thing. So I have my candle lit and going. This is a Chesapeake Bay lavender eucalyptus. It smells good when you don't put your nose too close to the glass. Ow. I think I just burned nose hair off. It looks like, I love seeing the young, they didn't have all the different sports camps from the different things when I was growing up. The recreational activities over the summer and throughout the year used to be run by the city. And the person who used to do that is no longer, they're no longer in charge of that. So, the funny thing, the football field wasn't, but the ball diamonds that are right next to the football field actually were owned by the city. So they sold them to our school district for $1. And so the school district now is in charge of the rec program. And now that the school district is in charge of rec, they have a lot more opportunities for the kids to participate in things. So they have mini golf.
Okay. I'll have to mute again here shortly. Hopefully this person gets back to me. The code they gave us didn't work, so I was trying to figure it out.
Am I cutting in and out again?
Huh?
Am I cutting in and out again?
A little bit. Not horrible.
Okay. Well, we have been on for almost 2 hours. So, Sammy, do you want to tell the people what's coming on for you?
Year of the Year and an unboxing and that Stitch 26. Oh my gosh, why did I say get that?
I did that a lot, don't worry.
626 Stitch collab will be up
June 26th.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
Okay.
I have a lot going on in my life right now.
So videos go up, vlogs are up on Tuesdays and Saturdays unless it's a collab or a swap. Today is the Celebrate Summer swap, and it went up at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Walt Disney World time, so make sure and go check that out. Travel tips on Thursdays, fitness Fridays, and then shorts on Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. And that is and we're gearing up for our trip in July. So we're excited about that. Vlogs will come from
leaving on my birthday.
I know. I'm leaving on my dad's birthday. So
I'm more important. Just kidding.
So hello, Randy.
Don't tell him I said that.
I'll just tell him you called him old. My friend called you old.
That's even worse. I did not even say that.
So thank you everyone for coming to hang out with us today. We will see you in the next video or